visiting the top lane to take out Ixu early.
Yeah, some junglers will
KC,
like gank one lane and then they'll call for a TP on the other side of the map to try and snowball the other lane, but no, it's Chaser just tortures you after he gets one kill. And there's the GP ban once again. SKTelecom did play some quiet. What?
Well,
okay.
all right, sure, whatever.
We haven't seen a Rise ban
It's
since
fine.
the Rise changes.
That's Flame's Rise, I guess, must be godlike.
Well, it was in the past. He's like the original top lane Rise player.
But I just don't know about on patch 6.5 how I feel about that one. So we'll just let it go.
Yeah, you see it's still the #2 most banned champion in this league, but that is
Because
because
it
it
was
was
banned
like
so
100% of the time at the start of the season.
Yeah, like the first 6-7 weeks it was.
Yeah.
Just completely banned out, so still riding the ban train for Rise. Coming back in, but of course Poppy going to be taken away yet again. Last ban on the red side. SKT did that in the first game. Both of these top laners would love to get their hands on it, but Kindred makes it through. Blank, after that MVP performance, going to go ahead and have the first pick for himself.
Again, this is Koma's style of drafting. First pick jungle. This is what he does. He'll always do it. You want to take the Kindred away from Chaser, who is that big carry-oriented style of jungler. He's not going to get his Nidalee. So you take this instead, and we'll see if they can make it work.
Well, right now, Hover's coming through from Longzhu. It's going to be the Alistair first pick here. They first picked this on the blue side in the last game, so they're going to take it in the first rotation. And also go for the Maokai that Duke was pretty impactful on in that first match.
Sure, take the Sivir again. Why not just run the same composition?
Yeah. I mean, this could open up Duke to maybe go to something like the Gnar into the Maokai.
Absolutely. Could also run operate the Trundle here.
Yeah, another thing that made it through the pick and ban.
Why not just take Trundle? Obviously, they're in a situation like they were last game where they don't have to take the Trundle because they know what the top and the support are already.
Yeah.
It's
Jungle Maokai.
If they have priorities. So the question now is, do you take the Trundle and just threaten it as a flex pick? Or do you save it and take a priority pick like the Azir? You could do that too. If you're going to have to blind pick, you might as well blind pick the Azir.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and lock it in. The Sivir as well. So Bang having a pretty good performance with that, shredding through the members of Longzhu. Going to try doing the same thing to the newly inserted roster for this game. But Faker's Azir, again, you know, this is something that we saw just a couple days ago, last week, and he played it quite well.
Yes, do it, Frozen. Play the classic Syndra mid that you are known and loved for. We are on 6.5. We've seen one Echo. It wasn't great, and it will be a Jungle Graves instead. But both of those champions, the Syndra and the Echo, Frozen has been playing those for a long, long time.
Wasn't great almost seems generous. A very generous way to put it after that performance we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what the tank Echo top lane was supposed to do.
It was
the answer
pretty damn bad.
Was nothing.
Yep.
So Trundle Nautilus is probably going to be the picks here from SKTelecom. Give
Very
yourself
tanky front line.
a nice front line. Take away the stats from the Maokai. You've got a lot of poke to work with. You're going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah. And you have great damage that can get into the back line. The Sand Soldiers, the ricochets from Sivir, Boomerang Blade on top of that. This is a pretty formidable lineup from SKT. Still have to see what their final pick is going to be. Gnar Hover coming in, 10 seconds on the clock. Looks like this might be the lock-in, so it would be a Trundle support for Wolf.
So just playing for the lane matchup instead of taking the Nautilus, definitely still viable. Oh, they're not going to take the Trundle.
Okay, yep, flip to the Braum in the end.
Looks like they want to block some of the poke from Graves, or the ability from Graves and Lucian. See if they can block the collateral damage and the culling with the Unbreakable. Just fine too. You don't need the Trundle. You already are going to have a huge front line here. You can just kill the Maokai by kiting.
Yeah. I mean, Gnar does great into Maokai and kiting him early on, and it's actually just going to be the Lulu locked in for Frozen in the mid lane. So
with the comp they have, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
You power up the Graves and the Lucian. Yeah. You already have your front line intact, so you have options about who you play with the Whimsy, but a lot of pressure on Chaser. He's used to this situation. He's a big-time carry guy.
Well, it's going to be all eyes on him to actually carry this game, because Crash didn't really do a whole lot on the Elise.
He fell behind on farm, which was expected, but he didn't have the best repels or the best engages. I was impressed with some of his timings on his repels, that he managed to dodge the Valkyrie W on a couple of occasions. So
yeah,
good,
that was
good timing, but ultimately was... I mean, I don't really blame anybody on Longzhu for that last game, just because they were so uncoordinated as a team, and that was the root of most of their problems. It wasn't like an individual play. It was some people were going out in team fights, some people were trying to go in at the same time.
Yeah.
It was kind of a mess.
It was very sloppy, so we'll see if this rotated out roster, a full 5-man flip from Longzhu, is going to pay off. I have my doubts just on how Longzhu's been doing in the recent past.
Also, Zeus has not really turned in a good performance yet from the support role. I think Pure is clearly the better support player.
I'd have to agree with you, but I don't know. We'll have to see. This is time for these new members of Longzhu who are coming into the second game to make a statement for themselves and maybe establish a starting roster for Longzhu that they can actually stick with. But SKT looking near undefeatable after that first game, so it could be a 2-0. We're going to find out when we get onto the Rifts. Game 2 coming up.
Mother Nature, everybody wants to lose.
Alrighty, on to the Rift here. Game 2, match point for Longzhu. Need to win this one if they want to go to Game 3 and try to take down SKT for the second time. They'd be the second team to beat SKT in both rounds, I believe. Rocks being the first.
Yeah, of course, since we moved to the new system, out of the tournament format into the league format, after the end of 2014, so our first full year, no one had beaten until the Rocks Tigers SKTelecom in both halves of the round robin. Rocks Tigers will be the first. Took over a year to do it, but it has been done.
Yep. And what massive improvements they have seen over that year.
SKTelecom too, having to undergo some roster changes. Of course, Duke, an excellent top laner.
Yeah.
Still, I would say, struggling a little bit on the TP from game to game, which has long been his problem, but not last game. His TPs were great.
Roster changes indeed. Scout being removed from the team and actually just got picked up. Just, I believe, earlier today. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't quite remember. We can see, though, aggressive, invasive play coming out from Fury and Zeus. This is what we've come to expect when we have these swaps up to the top side. Try to just place that double jungle that's coming through.
Yes, and Wolf start for Longzhu. Means they are going to give up the blue buff, and it could be another 3-buff situation here for SKTelecom. Starting just a little bit greedy, lost a Sentinel or two, but they do get that camp cleared, so at least the respawn timer is going to be coming through. And Chaser and Flame not going to have a chance, I don't think, to get a blue buff of their own, so they'll have to live without that.
Yep. Faster clear, of course, coming in for Chaser so far. Graves quite good at that early on.
Yeah, his Q is ridiculous when it comes to the early jungle clear.
Yep. Not to mention just the safety that comes with his knockback on his auto attacks.
Not going to take so much damage from those creeps. Duke will get the level, Blank will get the buff, and everybody heading down for the cannon minion wave push.
Yep. It looks like Blank's swapping up towards the mid side. Probably going to take that scuttle and get that first Kindred mark for himself. So going to be a little more self-sufficient. So we'll see. This should be, yeah, tower going down on the top side more than likely faster. 3 members joining up before that of SKT's, but it should be relatively matched.
Yeah, and at least they're going to get that blue buff.
Yeah.
Over on, and
they're losing Gromp and probably
Slot,
Wolves.
actually, as you can see. Kindred a little bit behind in the jungle, but won't be once this swap completes.
Yep.
Did opt to spend that little bit of time over with the Scuttle Crab, and that's going to be good depending on how fast this push comes into the bottom side. Should give them some relevant information.
So that's the top falling. Bot about to fall. So there it is by Duke. Gets it. Cancels that last tower auto as it goes down.
Nice pushback too. He denied an entire wave.
Yep. Really good bounce. And we can see Blank not clearing the blue, just leaving a couple of those minions. Looks like he didn't go for the wolf camp either, but I can't tell if he took the large one and backed out of there. But either way, rotating over to the Krugs on the minimap. Yeah, took one of the minis, Sentinels.
Well, that's going to offset their blue buff with the enemy blue buff pretty substantially. So that's going to be something we're going to want to look at in just a few minutes here to see how SKTelecom is going to play around that. They will have the blue buff advantage in the mid lane, and they'll have ample time also to invade the blue buff once it's actually cleared out. That's going to be a bit.
Yeah, it's still being untouched. Zeus walked past it, but didn't have Fury come over and finish it off, so it's going to take a little while. Chaser just now roaming down to it. Clear it out. Faker and Frozen. Nice trading in this mid side. Ooh, playing with fire.
Especially Faker with a clear advantage there with the heal.
Yep.
But
Frozen does have that TP, so he's going to be able to rejoin his lane faster than Faker can.
I don't think he's going to. Oh, he actually is going to use it. Yeah. Interesting. So
he's actually going to channel before he gets full HP as well.
Wow, okay, really wanting to push up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the wisest move.
We'll have to see. He's going to deny the rest of that wave out from Faker, so he is netting a little bit of an advantage. We can see Chaser is coming down to this bottom side to help out around that tower, getting some good deep vision as well to spot SKT in their own jungle. But again, almost perfect. One minion still standing there for Duke, so won't get the best bounce possible. But this is going to be Longzhu taking that tower and going straight over to the Dragon. SKT going to trade out for the Rift Herald.
Exciting times, perfectly standard lane swaps, all right. Where's it going to change? Where's the breaking point, Achilles?
I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. It could be the impact of Blank from the jungle, who's, interestingly enough, going for the Tracker's Knife and not the Skirmisher's Blade on Kindred. He did play Skirmishers in the last game, so this time going to be going for Tracker's Knife, so prioritizing some more vision for his team rather than that dueling potential, which is what I thought you would want going against the Graves, especially.
Well, you pretty much always take it on the Kindred. That's a bit odd.
Yeah, I think out of the, I don't even know how many Kindreds we've seen, but I've seen maybe 2 Tracker's Knives in the last couple weeks.
Especially if you might be forcing a fight. So the actual Herald buff went on to Sivir, so not onto Kindred, which is where we would normally see it for a deep tier 2 push. So Bang just going to be pushing faster as a result all the way up this lane. So what this does is it means that Kindred can go farm, and the wave is still going to push harder and faster than it would otherwise. So they're trying to get a tempo advantage by doing this. And they should be able to get one with a lot of these extra attack speed caster minions coming in on the next wave.
Yep.
But Kindred needs to play around this. Wolf already scouting ahead, getting the deep wards in. Maokai returning up to that top side, but Duke is staying top as the second blue buff will be taken by Longzhu Gaming.
Yep, so taking that one away, Chaser going to have that for himself. Bang getting ready to push up this bot side. No one really in the vicinity and no one recalling to try to answer this. Looks like they might just try to trade the tier 2s.
Duke has to be careful. He could get dove here.
Yeah.
Especially with the TP from Frozen. Oh, yeah. TP's down, never mind.
No Gnar ultimate available as he is still just level 4, so just going to have to back off here. They do have these Rift Herald minions, so it's going to help take this tower faster than Longzhu. Actually, well, they get on it faster and Chaser joins them, so never mind.
Well, they have 4 people to 3.
Yeah, that's also true. So it'll help even up the timing as much as possible. Are they going to
base race this?
They're going to try by the
There's no more Rift Herald.
Yeah, and it's still just 3
All
to 4.
right, let's do it.
Okay, we saw this against the Rock Tigers, and SKT did not like how it turned out.
Well, they're making a different decision this time. They're actually going for the race, as opposed to trying to recall and just losing that inhibitor turret.
Well, it's going to be just turret for turret by the look of it, but this one's going down really slowly, and there's not much of a wave joining. It's going to come in too late.
No!
And SKT, that is not good.
Well, okay, so there's two schools of thought to this, right? Because what Duke is doing now is that he's got this frozen lane that actually can't push back out because there's no turret to hit until it actually hits the Nexus. So this is a huge freeze that you can get, and the wave is going to be pushing back towards SKTelecom, it would appear, at least at first glance, especially with 3 people being down there. So Duke, in the last game, tried to get this freeze, and this can be advantageous. But they're going to clear it out, actually, so they're not even going to attempt the freeze, because the last time they did this, Rock's Tigers went into the bottom lane, and then when Duke was trying to freeze at his inhibitor, they just dove them at the tier 2 in the bottom side, and that's really where the game started to turn.
Raptors being taken away. Chaser playing very forward and aggressively. Gonna try to take this one. Smite up for both. It's gonna be Chasers.
The big deal here is that
Blink did not have Smite. I thought he did.
yeah. The big deal here is just getting that turret down, because now you have to play around side minion waves much more seriously, because you don't have that little bit of extra insurance with the inhibitor turret being up. So now Longzhu, if they play around minion wave pressure side waves, they can do really, really well. Gnar, the only one on the top side, we have 4 people down at this tier 2. This is looking almost identical, actually, to the SKT Rocks game lane swap that we saw.
Well, he does have level 6 now.
But no
Duke
dive.
in
This
that
is
top side, yeah.
this is where, in the other game, this is where Rocks came in with a Rift Herald and dove them. But the Rift Herald not up, they weren't able to get it, and so SKT just going to be able to farm this one out.
Yep.
But it doesn't really matter if you lose an inhibitor turret at this point in the game, because no one's going to be able to go and backdoor that. Nobody has the damage or the time.
Yep.
Just not exactly very meaningful. But if this game goes to 30 minutes, then it actually does matter quite a lot. Especially because Frozen is probably going to have a Lich Bane, and he has teleport. They have 2 TPs to 1, so Frozen is going to be a constant thorn in the side of SKT, threatening to take down that inhibitor with the Lich Bane procs.
Yep, could be bad. We can see even though that tower advantage is held by Longzhu, they're still only in the lead by 200 gold. So it's just good on SKT to maintain these CS leads in the top and bot side. Dead even in the mid at the moment. But SKT maybe getting set up for the second dragon spawn here. So it's coming up in about 40 seconds. Getting some good vision control in the area, so they might be looking to net that objective for themselves.
Yeah, they're in a good place with their minion wave pressure. Duke finally, okay, he gets the Hex Drinker second. I was a little bit surprised he didn't pick that one up first. So going for that aggressive build. Someday tried it earlier tonight.
Oh, blank. Gets the Gromp, will be able to hop over the wall, so he does keep himself safe.
He's Kindred, he's fine. Nothing you want to recall right now, Wolf.
Yeah, poor timing. Fortunately, though, Blank does find that pink ward that was down around the bot side. Or no, he doesn't. Actually, he's just skitters past it. I thought he walked into the brush, but it looks like he dodged around it. So that could be a potential teleport ward at the Dragon Pit if Longzhu want to fight. Faker going in here. It's going to draw out the Wild Growth from Frozen. Nice. Didn't even have to use the Emperor's Divide.
Has his heal up too, so draws it out. That means there's going to be no contest on the Dragon because he's zoned out Frozen, got the Wild Growth out. He had already chunked down Frozen before. Clean objective control there from SKTelecom. Good communication to easily pick up the Dragon.
Yep. Very nicely played. And that's, you know, the second time that we've seen Faker with the mind games. Last time he was against Coco with that Emperor's Divide in the mid as he threw out the Glacial Path. This time draws out the Wild Growth from Frozen. Short cooldown though, so he will be able to have that back up relatively quickly. He's already halfway off cooldown.
Who's gonna get it? All right, it's Bang and the wave clear. Let's do it. It's time for mid lane pushes.
A bad band name. Bang in the wave clear.
Well, it may not be the most exciting band in the world, but you know what? They're technically proficient, Achilleos. Their technique is flawless.
It's a strategically sound band.
Virtuoso musicianship, but their songs are boring, all right?
They're boring if you can't appreciate the music.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Take it to the pretension level.
Yeah.
You know my style.
That I do. I've been here for about 5 weeks, which is absurd to me that it's already been that long in Korea.
You know, time doesn't actually move differently in Korea, just so you know.
No, it's just you have to get used to the difference at first. the adjustment period.
It may seem like it because
17-hour difference is pretty brutal at first.
But we live in the future, so it's just the future. It's not that time moves differently, it's that the future has already arrived. Everybody loves esports.
See, that explains why Korea is always one step ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, esports is on TV.
I guess it doesn't explain China because they're kind of in the same time zone. They're very similar. So, never mind. My theory's debunked. Myth busted.
Oh. Well, usually try and bust other people's myths, not your own.
Yeah. It's just that unfortunate of a myth that I have to bust it myself. Oh, Faker coming down. Maybe pitching into Flame, gonna go in, draws out the flash. Nice, Emperor Savai just clips the backside of him. There's nowhere for him to go. He's gonna fall, and it's gonna be actually the Nars, a Duke picking up the kill.
I think
nicely played by Faker.
My favorite thing about watching Faker Azir this season has been his ability to create picks. He was able to kill Prey and prolong that game one against the Rocks Tigers extremely well by use of his ult to just nail people who are even slightly out of position.
Yep.
Here we go.
Now Frozen has some pop the wild growth, but the concussive blows come through, and he's going to go down, possibly. No, one more auto attack. Ben goes forward, maybe a little too much.
Nice got Kindred
That's going to be the Kindred ult coming through. Frozen still staying alive. Wolf with the flash forward. Does it go on to Zeus? He falls. No ultimate available for the Alistar to stay alive.
Flame's here.
And Flame is here yet again. Maybe where he does not want to be.
Duke does
Actually,
not.
Chaser's pitching from the top
Duke
side.
has TP.
Chaser is half HP. The calling comes across. Nice unbreakable by Wolf. TP coming in from Duke as well. That's going to be Fury getting a kill onto Wolf. But Bang fires back and takes down Flame. Chaser on the run. Blank dashing forward, finishes him off. The collateral damage just going to tickle him. And that is going to be several kills picked up for SKT. 4-1 on the board. And now a pretty solid gold lead. 1.6K in their pocket.
SKTelecom's communication, you can really tell, is excellent. We'll get to that in a second. So here's the attempt at an all-in. Frozen tries to stick around. Faker there bends it through the mid lane. Frozen is going to escape with just a sliver of help. Thanks, Alistar, for the triumphant roar heal. But Bang flashes forward, knowing that he actually has the Kindred ult to save him if and when he needs it. But this is great. They're trying to save the ult. We didn't see it, but they were trying to save the TP.
Yeah.
And just see if they didn't have to use it. And so they sat there for a while. Duke just had his finger on the trigger, and their communication was precise so that he came in at exactly the right time to sort of save that engagement. And they come out ahead, and they all escape.
Yep. Except for Wolf. He does die.
Well, whatever. He's a support. He's used to it.
Yep.
You must sacrifice your life for the greater good. The greater good was achieved. Flame died, then revived, then TP'd in to die again.
You know what I really like was the episode of Drive that Riot just released on Matt from Team Liquid.
Did you like it because you used to work for Team Liquid?
No, it's actually a good episode. But,
it was good, I agree.
But I particularly like the part where Matt's dad is talking and he's like, you know, I heard my son was really good at this game, and then I watch it, and he's just getting annihilated. And he didn't understand that support meant you die for the team. You know, you die to make those plays. It was just funny to hear his father say, like, I'm just watching my son getting destroyed by the enemy.
How come my son can't be the carry?
Yeah.
He's giving Matt some complexes there. He's doing good, okay?
I'm proud of you, son. I just wish you were the carry. Dad, I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm sorry. Don't come back to Hawaii until you're an 80 carry.
I'll even accept mid lane.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Maybe top.
He's been doing great for a rookie, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Both of them. I mean, both Matt and Dardoch have been doing really well. Solid stuff. But you know who else is doing really well? Faker.
Yeah. Pretty much highest DPM this season. Not going to be going down as a result of these games.
Yep.
Making the Azir outplays.
Yep. Smaller gold lead so far here, just 2,000. But Dragon spawning up yet again. This would be second for both teams. Zeus trying to find the pick, but Wolf kind of sniffs it out. Throws out the Q. Now they're going to spot Fury, who's playing really far forward for Lucian.
He should be. He's got Lulu. This is how you play it.
True.
Are you watching this, Afrika Freaks?
Mickey, this is what you do. But just like that, SKT zoned him off of the Dragon. They're going to be able to take this. I don't think Longzhu is going to want to try to engage off the backside of this, so just going to hightail it back into the mid lane.
I would not engage SKTelecom. Their composition is
Ever.
incredibly adept at kiting.
Yep.
You just simply are not going to be able to get into that back line. You need to poke them with the Lucian and your Lulu. Even though Flame has excellent engage, he's still pretty squishy. He only has that Sunfire cape, and Azir is just going to wreck him.
That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to poke with Lucian and Lulu when there's an Azir on the enemy team.
Well, no, you could do it. Obviously, you just get around those Sand Soldiers, but you're right. You do have to be careful because Faker will just come in and ult you back into the team. Or Duke will flash on top of you and find the stun with his ultimate. He's in that Mega Gnar form, and now Faker is coming for your turrets.
Yep. W. Just gonna whittle away at these. Frozen gonna take a hell of a lot of damage. He just short hops away before turning into
A seal?
a tiny. Yeah, I think he is a seal. To look at it again.
I wish I could turn into a seal. But a big seal, not that kind of seal. Not a little cartoon seal. Seals look like they have so much fun.
Well, they're always clapping.
Just like the fans do for me.
Oh, big engage by Zeus here. Catches two people with the knockup. Faker down below half HP and Flame coming around the backside. Maybe trying to get that twisted advance. Nice ultimate by Wolf. And it's going to be Flame flashing onto Duke and rooting him, but he's going to fall for it. Chaser goes down as well. Lamso Spike to just heal up SKT. They should be able to find this tower. Two members of Longzhu down. And a lot of pressure open up here for SKT as they just continue onward through this mid lane.
Great use of the Kindred ult again. Everybody on the same page.
Are they going to go for this?
Yeah, why not? You can do it. You have Kindred, Sivir, and Azir. You can 100% do this Baron in 20 minutes.
That's very true. We almost saw a two-man.
Yeah, Azir, Elise.
And then...
Oh, the bug splat! The drama.
Man, we have a lot of firsts. over
Okay,
here.
okay, wait. No, we can actually see what's going on.
Okay, so...
SKTelecom's killing everybody.
Yes, they are.
They got the Baron, and then they killed one member.
They killed Fury.
They killed Fury, so we're watching Flame's perspective right now.
And
Actually, as we load back into this game,
he's not doing a whole lot of anything.
he's trying to push out the top wave.
Clearing some minions.
All right.
A lot of firsts. My first roster swap, my first bug splat.
You get used to the bug splats here. They happen all the time.
We've made it like a month without it for me, so I think that's pretty lucky.
I guess. So we're now in Duke's perspective, as you can see.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to load
All right,
up.
first-person cams. This is a special feature of OGN. We call it the Bug Splat Cam. Yay, we get to watch a player play the game.
Huzzah. Incredible. So you can see Duke just pushing up this bottom side. Mid tower goes down, the tier 2. And SKT are just stretching this lead even further.
All right, everybody gonna stack into.
This bug
All
splat
right,
does not want to.
we switch over. We're back to Flame now.
Yep.
Swapping around the perspectives, keeping it fresh, so you can see both teams' vision.
Keeping it fresh between the two members that we've seen so far.
As we can see, Longzhu has basically no wards, or vision, or anything, and all their wards are currently getting eliminated.
Yeah,
So they have to play very scared. There's an Azir turret in the mid lane.
2/3 of the map are completely blacked out
I'd be scared if I was
for
Longzhu.
Longzhu. Yeah, you don't want to go out at night right now. You can't see anything.
Oh.
Looks like we might have it fixed though as we come back into this.
Boy.
There we go. And all is well.
At least we have the player perspective set up now, because that's happened so many times that we actually had to figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Good job, OGN.
On top of your broadcast. All right. And again, because of... Damn, I missed when Blank got sated. I don't know if it was before all of that nonsense happened, but once again, I didn't pay attention. But yeah, so just a slight recap what we do know. Baron went down and Fury fell post Baron take. Tier 2 in the mid side goes down, and now SKT posturing up in this bottom side looking for the first inhibitor tower of the game.
Yep, just split pushing with Gnar in the top lane. No TP, so SKT is only just putting on pressure here so that they can get a tier 2. I don't think they can realistically pull off an inhibitor turret right now unless they get some really good poke down. Oh, they're going to go for it. Wow. Longzhu can
Got that out.
engage.
Wolf gonna go forward on the hunt, gets popped by Bang. is going to push in and be able to take down this inhibitor. Fury taking down to half HP by just that Sand Soldier auto attack.
The big mistake here is that Flame showed himself in the top side without TP. That's what caused them to go in.
Yeah.
I don't know why Flame wouldn't just give up the tier 2. They basically just traded like
an
inhibitor to save their tier 2. That was terrible.
Yep. Poor decision making by Longzhu.
Yeah, they should never have been able to get that inhibitor like that with the amount of engage. But without Maokai there, doesn't matter.
Yep. Even so, it's kind of hitting the point where even if Maokai was there...
Why does he have 2 Spectre's Cowls?
I don't know.
There's literally only one magic damage dealer on the side of SKTelecom. They're not going to help you versus Bang or Blank.
Really afraid
or
of
Duke.
Faker.
I mean, I guess, okay. Whatever you want, Flame. You just wear 2 capes.
You do
it doesn't actually make you more like Superman to wear 2 capes. Doubling up on capes doesn't make you more of a superhero.
Maybe wear the underwear on the outside of your pants.
That does,
That
for sure.
might do it.
So I
or
heard that,
it makes you a
I heard that
lunatic.
movie is really bad. It's got really bad reviews.
Yeah, it's getting ripped apart.
I suspected.
I wasn't that surprised. Zack Schneider.
Hey, 300 is great.
300 is pretty good. 300 is pretty good. Watchmen,
No, you will not say you like Watchmen. Have you read the comic?
I have. Of
Okay.
course I have.
All right, and you think the movie is good?
It is nowhere near as good as the graphic novel. It's an enjoyable movie. The acting is god-awful at some points. It's so bad I almost said a bad word.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I definitely can't do that. But it is an enjoyable one. Man of Steel, not a fan at all.
I hate that movie.
That movie is terrible.
My favorite part, or no, I confuse favorite with least favorite. My least favorite part about that movie.
Sometimes it's the same. Sometimes you hate it so much that you love it.
Yeah. Is that General Zod? Oh, Faker's coming around. Sorry, I got excited. General Zod is apparently this great strategist, and he comes back and he's going to terraform a planet, right? He could pick any planet in the galaxy, and he picks the one with Superman on it. Why don't you just go terraform a different planet? You don't need to do that to Earth.
It's a matter of principle, Monty. He needs to prove that he is the alpha.
So
he is the alpha Kryptonian.
Why doesn't he just terraform a different planet and come back and kick Superman's ass later?
I don't know. And instead they kill him and they turn him into Doomsday.
God.
And Doomsday is apparently not... okay, I won't go that far. Because that might be spoilers for people who don't pay that much attention. But, yeah, the movie's bad, bottom line. Haven't even seen it, don't need to see it.
Well, we actually managed to talk through the entire destruction of Longzhu's base while talking about how
that
bad
wasn't
Man of
difficult
Steel-
because it didn't take very long for them
Man
to...
of Steel is.
Yeah. I will say that the action scenes in that movie are pretty good.
No, I thought they were grounded. Why don't we just cast the end of this game?
Well, that's true. That's fine because it's very imminent. We can see Zeus going to go down, knocks Duke in. He's still alive though. Not going to go down. Chaser on the other hand, he is going to fall. Fury trying to stay alive. Faker with a very nice Empress of Eye, just pushing Frozen and Flame in. Nice ultimate by Blank, keeping his mid laner up. Flame is going to go down. Fury hiding in the vestiges of his base in the fountain. The Nexus is going to fall, and just like that, SKT getting revenge over Longzhu with a 2-0 victory.
Oh
my God. The disrespect. That was the first kill Faker got in the game.
Holy cow, that damage with the Thunderlord proc.
That was the only kill he got. He was 1-0 and 10 at the end of that, but Faker coming up huge in that one, 12-1, even more crushing than the first game.
Oh,
And
good
SKT
stuff.
make very quick work, and you have to wonder, like, what is Longzhu gonna do moving forward? Because they just did an entire swap for Game 2, and it just did not pay off at all.
Well, I don't know how many of us are actually surprised about that. I don't know if their Swapperino situation is really the way forward for this team. I think that they probably not going to be making playoffs at this stage, considering that they are now below the Africa Freaks in the standings with today's results. Africa upsetting KT. SKT winning a squeaky clean series against Longzhu Gaming, but that puts Africa at 6-7 and Longzhu at 6-8.
Yeah. They won that second game 11 minutes and 20 seconds faster than the first one. And the first one was already very concise and surgical. The second one, slower start, but a pretty catastrophic finish for Longzhu. And SKT making a massive return to form in these last couple games. We'll ignore the Rocks Tigers one. Rocks are just too damn good.
Exception.
So
They're the exception.
yeah,
But
that's
yes,
the team they're allowed to look bad against.
clearly SKTelecom. They looked a lot more coordinated today than they did against the Tigers. Duke was a little bit off.
Shot calling was much better.
Yeah, Duke was
Blank
a
had
little
a
bit
better
off
performance.
last match, and Blank, as you said, doing well, holding his own against Crash, who is that dominant counter jungler, and Chaser, who is one of the best junglers in this league, making it look easy, but especially Faker, who has just been so good on this Azir. He's found a way to play Azir with Thunderlords, and I think that's really the key, is that Azir's burst with Thunderlords allows you to play him as a pick champion now, which was never possible before.
Yeah. And we saw Faker just setting up those plays, getting those picks, and the MVP, of course, is going to be Faker in the mid lane, 1-0-10, 91% kill contributions, just phenomenal stuff.
His mid-game picks, you just cannot be anywhere close to him on the same screen as him, because he will kill you. Prey suffered that a couple of times, nearly lost the game for the Rocks Tigers. Faker attempting to carry them out of a deficit in game one of their match from last week. This time, finds that first blood pick. I mean, Flash, and
He just
such
barely
good use.
scraped him in.
Such good use to that Emperor's Divide and the follow-up, and Faker just kiting, keeping him right in between him and Gnar. Let's keep watching Faker here. This was the other fight that
He
came
just
through.
works through everybody. He doesn't even have to make flashy plays. His damage
Well, just
and
his-
his targeting is just so beautiful.
His zone control, too, to get out of that situation safely and prevent an engage. Faker here, gonna be knocked up by that wild growth, starts kiting it out, gets some damage down onto Flame. Maybe he doesn't do anything exciting in this team fight. All right, that was boring, Faker. Here's the final siege at the base, getting the Sand Soldiers in between the turrets, and then I just want to see this last kill again because he was able just to dunk on Fury.
Beautiful Emperor's Divide, of course, to knock those two members back, Flame, and
Oh,
what?
come on!
What a ripoff! I just threw my pen in anger. Oh, that sucks. Oh well.
Damn it, OGN, baited.
Well, we do have an interview, of course, with our two MVPs. So, George, take it away for the translation.
All right, so today's match between SKT and Longzhu. SKT was able to beat Longzhu 2-0. And let's meet our MVPs, Blank and Faker. First of all, for Blank, how do you feel about today's victory? I didn't expect a 2-0 win, but we've been playing very well in the recent scrimmages, so I kind of expected either 2-1 or 2-0 victory. I know last time you got MVP with no death with Nidalee, and today you also had no death today. How's your condition? It's great. I have just my condition is very great. Feels like my condition is great. She asked if you're gonna keep getting MVP, and he said yes, of course.
Confidence, I like it.
Right, with the confidence pick of Kindred, was there a reason? I felt like I play well with Kindred, so I kind of picked it. He looks very confident today. I know on the first set you use very well. You use your ult very well against Azir. So how was that? I kind of actually knew the timing of it, so exactly knew when to use my skill and everything. So today, you're trying to steal opponent's blue, but you actually was able to. You were able to get Azir, kill Azir, and get his blue. How was that? Everybody said good, nice. It seemed like you had a lot of pressure and you were nervous before in the early season, but now it seems like you're very confident. Did you get treated? Yes, I'm very well. Look at it, like he said, except for me shaking my hands when I'm doing the MVP interviews, I guess there's no problem. So please say something to your coaching staff and team members. Thank you for my team members and head coach. and the coaching staff. I love you all.
CJ의 다음 경기가 CJ인데
I know next game is against CJ. I actually made a bet with Untara.
이긴 사람이 고기를 사기로
Whoever wins will buy
제가 살 거 같아요.
meat, buy dinner, I guess. He said, I'll be the one who's buying dinner. He's very confident.
진심 어린 인터뷰 감사드립니다. 자, 이제 페이커 선수
All
만나보겠습니다.
right, next up will be Faker. Hello.
페이커 선수 롱주 상대로 1라운드
I know first round you guys lost against Longzhu, but this today you were able to beat them. How do you feel? I know we are sixth on the ranking, but it didn't seem like a sixth ranked team's strategy and playing.
네, 오늘 이겼잖아요. 한 말씀 해주시죠.
Please say something about today's victory. And play after someone made a Nunu impression after MVP or Captain Jack. He says Captain Jack is one of the reasons why they lost as well. He said he also watched the Nunu impression from Captain Jack as well. She asked if you expected the second set MVP. Yes, I actually expected it. I feel like I play very well with Azir. I felt like we're gonna win after I picked Azir.
2세트 시작 전에
I know before second set,
교체됐습니다. 이거에 대해서
Longzhu actually changed their whole roster. Did you actually expect that? That was the first time ever after playing for more than 3 years in the professional league. And I kind of was doubting if this was gonna really happen.
느낌이죠. 그래도 SKT 잘 받아쳤습니다. 현재 경기 수가 13번으로 다른 팀보다 좀 적은 걸
I know you guys only play 13 games compared to other teams that play more. How do you feel about that? Because we didn't play as much games as other teams. And it feels like our rankings are not really set yet. But we don't know if we're gonna win or lose more or win more. And I'm just going to expect more games to play in the future as well. It's been 3 years ever since you start playing in the league, and I saw your fans has prepared a lot of snacks for you. There's it says Faker, Bengi, congratulations for your third spring. Say something to the fans. Thank you for my fans. I will try to play 5 or 10 years. I don't know how long I'll be able to play. All right, that was it for the MVP interviews with Blank and Faker. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, George, for the translation. Faker, some shots fired at Captain Jack. That was pretty funny.
They have a very interesting relationship with streaming, and Faker. I don't know if you know this, but Faker always, when he solo queues and finds Captain Jack on the same team, he will just always play support for Captain Jack, and he's really bad at it, so it makes Captain Jack really bad.
Try to tilt him as hard as you possibly can. Of course, though, going back through our games from today, KT Rolster fell to Africa Freaks 3-game series, and then a 2-0 for SKT, who are looking back to form. I did the math here. Faker almost did the entirety of Longzhu's damage by himself in that last game. He was off by a couple thousand, but he almost beat the entire team in damage. And with that win, you can see SKT sliding up above Samsung and CJ Entis now in 4th place, just below KT Rolster.
And the +6 next to it is
That's
very
huge.
important. The game differential is going to mean quite a bit. KT, though, there's still a matchup over SKT, and they have that big point differential because KT has won a lot of 2-0s.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Oh, I didn't realize Spenu slid back into 10th. That's such a heartbreaker for those guys. But I'm sure that's going to get fixed tomorrow because we have Kongdu Monster versus Orox Tigers, which should be a very okay series. But right after that, Samsung and Jin Air Green Wings. And then, much anticipated, SKT1 versus CJ Entis, BDD versus Faker. That's going to be a hell of a game.
And Africa. Now is your time, Africa. Can you maintain your position above Longzhu Gaming?
They have to beat Spenu. There's no way that they don't beat Spenu. I think that Africa has it. They beat KT. These guys could
beat
basically beat
Samsung.
anybody that's maybe not Rocks.
Yeah, they have that opportunity. They've showed us that. I like their pick comp. I think their drafts, except for the Yasuo draft, I hate to say that, but the drafts for the last couple of weeks for that team, I think, have been really good. It's been helping them a lot.
Yeah, that was a really terrifying draft. Hopefully we don't see it again, but we'll see you guys tomorrow night for more OGN action.